Hello Physical Fiends, it's Jordan here with another Worth a Purchase where I play a game for a short amount of time to see if I would buy the game myself. This time we're taking a look at Rainbow Cotton. It's releasing digitally on PC, Xbox, PS5, PS4 and Switch, but we are all about physical releases and this does have a physical release. It has a limited European release over at strictlylimitedgames.com, but there's also a Japanese version. I'll talk about the details in a moment, but the links are below if you want to purchase them regardless. So, Rainbow Cotton was originally a Dreamcast game that only released in Japan. The Cotton series has always been a niche set of shooters, at least prior to the Nintendo Switch where there's like a million of them, but even back then this was one of the most obscure of them all. It was a successor to Panorama Cotton on the Mega Drive, where it's more of a rail shooter than your standard side-scrolling stuff. I played it. I played the Dreamcast version on one of my other channels called A Bit More Jordan, where I'm going through the entire Dreamcast library, and let's just say it was a game with heavy potential but severely flawed. Well, this remaster or remake was supposed to bring the game up to date and make it actually a good game. Is it? Well, it's better, but I'm still not gonna say it's great. It's still a game with potential. So, you have a handful of levels playing similarly to Star Fox, except this time it's a rainbow-filled eye bleed, in a good way. The visuals have mostly translated well to HD, there are a couple of bland places, but for the most part, it's a game that's brimming with personality. There is a full story in here, even though the game is about an hour long, like 30% of it is just animated cutscenes, which I love, especially the opener. They're still speaking Japanese, but now there are English subtitles, which are the same as the fan-translated Dreamcast version. A nice cheap way for in games to do that. Love the cutscenes, they might be the best part of the game to be honest. You have a normal shot which can be shot manually, like very slowly, or spammed to shoot faster. If you hold it down, you can also charge the shot and fire out any fairies that you have rescued, up to 5, and they can wail on the enemies too. You also have magic, which is picked up from crystals. When you shoot the crystals, it changes colour, and that indicates the kind of magic it'll be. You can store up to 4 at a time, and it's very useful for getting out of tight spots or against bosses. Rainbow Cotton is crazy, like everything is trying to kill you and all their attacks are homing in on you, so it's all over the place and you will be getting hit like a million times. But thankfully, you do have a health bar rather than a one-hit kill, which makes the game very easy up until you get to this absolute knob. Now, I powered through this dude on the Dreamcast version, but I played on easy then because it was just too hard for me. But here, I just played on normal, at which point, the game becomes borderline impossible in my opinion, even with the tweaks that have been made to this release. But what are those changes? Well, finally, you can see what you're aiming at. The targeting reticle isn't always directly in front of you, meaning your arse doesn't block it the entire time. That's good. You can also lock onto enemies now with the fairies, that's nice as well. Bosses also have a health bar, thank god. It doesn't make this mini boss inside the volcano any less perplexing, but hey, at least you can see that you're actually doing something. I do think it is much better, but I'm still not convinced it suddenly turned into a great game. Like I said, everything is a homing attack at you, and that's just annoying rather than enjoyable. And there's just so much stuff that you're swirling around like an idiot, and it doesn't feel as fun to play as it should. I really want to love this game, and admittedly, it's changed its act a little bit, but I think inherently there's something deeper in here that stops it being great. It can be fun, and I wouldn't mind picking it up and playing it once in a while, but still wishing it was as awesome as it could be. As I said, this is available digitally on all modern platforms, but physically, you can get a European version from Strictly Limited Games. They have Switch, PS4 and PS5 physical standard copies alongside a collector's edition for each. But a fair warning to you guys, Strictly Limited Games' output has been very poor this past year or two. They've been taking a lot of pre-orders for various games, but haven't printed or produced anything in a good while. It seems they don't have a whole lot of money, and they keep hoping the next game will bring in the big cash flow that they need. So yeah, you might want to be careful from purchasing them, or at least wait until they are officially in stock if they ever are. This is not available at retail in the West, you can only get it at their website. But it is available at retail in Japan, and that version does have English, and it's releasing later this month. There's a Switch and PS5 standard edition, no PS4 version, so if you want that, go for strictly limited. Plus, there is a collector's edition which includes a soundtrack CD, a pillow in the shape of a willow, which is the candy in the game, and a picture which you can colour in. I'll give that to my daughter if I ever buy this one. If you want that version, check the links below. These imports can support me, and I thank you kindly. Plus, if you click those links, the Play Asia ones, the imports, you can also get 5% off if you use the code Jordan24. But please click the link first, okay? Would I buy this myself? Maybe. As I said in my Dreamcast video on it, I like what it was going for, but it doesn't quite stick the landing, and that's generally still the case here. It plays a bit better, but it's still inherently overly chaotic that makes you feel more like a passenger than actually being part of it. I love the vibe, the personality, the color, the music, but it's definitely not high tier in terms of gameplay. I'd probably pick it up eventually, but I wouldn't rush out to buy it. I could just play Star Fox 64 instead. Will you guys be buying this, physically or digitally? Please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, leave me some candy emoji in the comments in honor of Cotton's love for the willow candy. And I hope you all have a good day. Take care.